If you don't want to be spoiled, click away now. This is your only chance to get away. What's up, you guys? It's Ash Linsky, and I needed to sit and record stuff, and I'm not gonna lie, my sleep schedule's got me all screwed up and stuff. I'm tired, but I wanted to do a sort of review. I went and saw the new Wonder Woman movie, and I wanted to talk about it because it was an experience for me. I won't do videos like this often. I probably will be doing one though for the Persona 5 game, just because there were so many issues and I couldn't stream it, and they didn't want people putting out any videos about it. So I'm gonna be doing a review for that, but nevertheless. We went opening weekend, we went Sunday, which was just this past Sunday. We went and saw Wonder Woman. Obviously based on the DC Comics character. As a preface, I am a Marvel fan more than a DC fan. There are aspects of DC I enjoy, mostly being Red Hood and the Outlaws, and certain people in the Bat family I'm cool with. I've always gravitated towards Marvel. I've always enjoyed those characters more. I've enjoyed their stories more. I never really strolled towards DC movies even. When I was younger, I remember the Batman movie that came out had George Clooney in it. So like George Clooney was, you know, my Batman. He was the Batman of my birth year, whatever. And I know my dad had like a comic of the Batman movie that had Jack Nicholson and Michael Keaton in it. And I always liked Michael Keaton as Batman. I don't know why. And I saw like The Dark Knight, I think it was. Is that the one? The one with the Joker in it that had Christian Bale. That was the only other one I ever saw, and I didn't really enjoy it that much. So, and I haven't seen any of the other DC movies. I haven't seen like Batman vs Superman. I haven't seen Superman. I haven't seen Superman Returns. I haven't seen any of those. So for me to go and see this was like an eye-opener. And mostly I went to see it because my mom is a huge Wonder Woman fan, and I wanted to be like, okay, let me go see this. Let me go see what it's all about, because this is her hero. Literally, from beginning to end, I was entranced by this movie. The cinematography was good, the compositions of the shots were good, the coloring was good. Everything about this movie was so good that when I say I was moved to tears, I mean I was literally moved to tears. By the time the Germans were on the beach and fighting with the Amazons, I was ready to start crying. It was that good. It was that beautiful to me. And then, so by the end of the movie, the credits started rolling and I just kind of lost it and burst into tears. My husband freaked out. He's like, "Are you okay? What's wrong?" I was like, "Yeah, it was so beautiful." And he was like, "Are you sure? Is that the only reason you're sad?" And I'm like, "I promise you, that is why I'm sad. That is why I was upset." And I wasn't even upset. It was just like, I was so happy I was crying. Some of the scenes even were like a lot. I mean, they weren't a lot, but they were just so well done. And I have a couple complaints, which I'll get to in a second, but I'll start with my favorite thing. Like, I think my favorite thing is, I want to say my favorite thing was probably her going through no man's land. And the fact that it was set during the First World War, because not often do you see that in like big movies. It's usually World War II or like Civil War. I don't think I've ever seen like a big box office movie about the First War. And her just like them showing the trenches and like what that was like and the world at that time, that was really neat. And just the bit where she was like, I'm not gonna stand for this, and she like went up the ladder and walked through no man's land and like deflected all of the bullets and then used her shield, and then they were in there helping her, and then when the troops realized that they were advancing and actually making movement, they moved. It was a really good scene. That was probably my favorite scene of the whole movie. And for things I didn't like, I think the only thing I didn't like was the fact that some of the CGI really looked like CGI, like Ares and his armor. Most of the scenes when Ares like revealed himself and he was like doing all the like the and the the electrocution and all that. Like, it looked CGI. And then he put his armor on and all that, and it looked too digital. It didn't look real. But oddly enough, it worked. So I didn't like it, but at the same time, it kind of just worked with everything that went on, and it went with the composure of the entire movie. Beyond that, the film was so good, and it was so nice to. I was looking into it. I didn't know going in that a woman directed it. Patty Jenkins did such a great job. I mean, everybody that had their hands in this movie did such a great job, but knowing it was a woman filmmaker made it over the top for me, which was probably part of the reason I cried too. Just because I remember a couple years ago when somebody was like, oh, why would you want to get into filmmaking? And I was like, there's not many women in it. I said, can you name female directors? And I think they named like Sofia Coppola, and that was it. And I was like, see, that exactly. There's the reason why I really want to get involved. Like, there's, you can't name them. Yeah, of course, there's plenty of actresses, but I said, you know, there's not many female directors. So to see a movie like this do so well, which it was #1 worldwide in the box office, I think with over 100 million plus. It did it did the best for a DC movie in a while, I think they said, and that it beat out Iron Man's first movie. So it was really cool to hear about. It was an experience, especially with the fact that it made me emotional. I didn't think it would. I thought I was just gonna be like, yeah, girl power, but like, no, I walked out like crying in tears, and then my face hurt from crying. But it was good. It was like a good movie, and it was a good happy cry, and I don't know. And there were a lot of parallels to Captain America and his origin story, which was funny because Captain America: The First Avenger was like my favorite movie forever, and then Winter Soldier came out and beat it out of the park. But I think it actually would top Captain America's origin movie in my opinion, which is crazy because Captain America is one of my all-time favorite superheroes. And I think honestly this movie even will go into like my top 5 favorite movies of all time, just because it had such an impact on me emotionally for some reason. I don't know. And this video is probably really lame and it doesn't explain anything, but I just wanted to share how good it was. And if you haven't gone and seen it, go see it. Wonder Woman, Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman did an amazing job, which I didn't know if I would like her as Wonder Woman because I'm so used to my mom talking about Linda Carter, who didn't have a cameo in the movie, which was really disappointing in itself, actually. But it was a good movie. If you like movies, go see it. If you like DC, go see it. It's gonna put the expectations for DC universe movies way at the top. So like, Justice League is next. They better freaking knock that out of the park. Not that I'm going to see Justice League. I don't think I will. Cause I don't like Ben Affleck as Batman. But that was the video reviewing Wonder Woman. I hope you enjoyed this. I know it's weird, probably really lame. I got my feels out, and this is the best way to do it. So, as usual, if you enjoyed this video, let me know. Give me a thumbs up or drop a comment down below. Don't forget to subscribe and make new content every single day. You don't want to miss it. I'll see you in the next one.